From 2021 to March 2024, I lived in the beautiful Pacific Northwest. Portland, Oregon, to be exact. I moved up there with my girlfriend at the time in late September. I packed up my life, my computer, musical instruments, my pristine set of Burger King Lord of the Rings goblets, and set off to a place I had never even visited before. I'll never forget the drive up. After braving the 5 freeway and all of its gas stations, truck stops, and slaughterhouses, we saw it. Pine trees lined along the highway stretching far and wide across the land, the crisp air filling our lungs, the subtle change of leaves to an autumn hue, Spotify road trip mixes blaring on the car stereo, including such bangers as the Feelies slipping into something, which you're hearing now. I felt like Bilbo Baggins making his way out of Bag End for the first time. I was ecstatic to experience something fresh, something new in my life. Living in Oregon made me someone who was pretty apathetic about nature, loved to see the color green everywhere. From our apartment on the southeast side, you could still see the massive trees on the edge of town, a layer of fog obscuring them slightly. It was honestly wonderful for my mental health to have all of this around. The fall season in particular really massaged the lizard and monkey parts of my brain. Until winter hit. Boy, you better buy one of those light cubes because the seasonal depression is real. Anyway, 3 years flashed like that. I eventually moved back because I missed friends and family, but I still look back on my time there fondly. I still visit for the sights, the few friends I made up there, the highest number of strip clubs per capita in the United States, and the food. Portland is a top-tier food city. Do not sleep on it. Here are some of my favorites if you live there or ever visit. At the moment, I'm currently feeling nostalgic. Living in California again, you don't really get substantial weather changes here. It goes from hellfire to hot to warm to slightly less warm.
This is fine.
The leaves don't change in that otherworldly way like they do in the Pacific Northwest here, and since we're deep in the cozy fall season, I wanted to play some of my favorite games that give me that vibe. I know Alan Wake 2 takes place in the old Pacific Northwest, but some parts of that game are not so cozy. It's a game I've been wanting to talk about though, so I'll save that for some time in the near future.
Shit. There was a meteor that just cut through Perseus straight into Draco's tail. I thought it was gonna hit Earth.
Yes, The Outer Wilds is a space exploration game, but try and tell me Hearthians ain't based on the denizens of the Pacific Northwest. Pretty sure I've seen four-eyed flannel-wearing jabronis playing banjo in Portland. If you look carefully enough, there's a Hearthian with a pack of Rainier as well. All these details, the pine trees and cabins, the incredible score by Andrew Prallo, friendly cast of characters, and the sense of exploration are a big reason as to why I'm including this game on the list. Timber Hearth is cozy as fuck. It's such a welcoming first environment. Again, the score immediately puts you at ease. The acoustic guitar playing just makes me want to sink into my chair with a warm blanket and a hot beverage. Like, listen to how beautiful this is. It really sets you up for a peaceful experience, but looks can be deceiving. I know some of you may be thinking, oh Alex, this isn't a horror video. We want you to just talk about spooky games. What's all this sentimental shit? Well, guess what, bitch? This game is fucking terrifying. Oh, what's that? A crumbling planet with a black hole in the center of it? No, spank you. You know what happened when I made a poor jump and fell in? I covered my eyes like a child and darted away from my monitor. For some reason, this game gets visceral reactions from me. There's an amazing sense of wonder when you're flying around in your ship, exploring the small galaxy, but flying towards the planets, your vision being absorbed by their sheer mass, delivers a level of fear unto me that I don't even feel in most actual horror games. Pyramid Head? Pfft, okay. Giant planet with cyclones that launch you back into space if you aren't careful? Shit my pants. And don't even get me started on the anglerfish that can swallow you whole. Anyway, the reason why this game makes me think of fall and some of my Pacific Northwest experiences is due to its wonderful sense of exploration. The great outdoors are a big part of living out there and contain some of the most beautiful, wondrous places on Earth. Exploring the planets in the outer wilds in a rustic spaceship gave me a similar sense of wonder as to when I saw places like Mount Hood for the first time. Just absolutely breathtaking experiences that'll linger in my mind forever.
If only you could see the world
The way I see it.
The original Psychonauts was one of my favorite games growing up as a kid. The quirky cast of characters, the campground setting, always made me want to experience a place with similar energies, and less exploding squirrels. When I saw the tall pines of Oregon for the first time, my mind immediately took me back to the feeling of playing that game. It was light, there was a sweetness and eccentricity that I hadn't felt since then. This energy is what I also think of when I'm playing Psychonauts 2, which I think is one of the best platformers I've ever played. It expands upon the themes and feelings of the original with such grace. The combat has been fine-tuned and trims out all the stuff that the first game suffered from. Looking at you, Meat Circus. The areas around Psychonauts HQ and the mines you'll explore are so wonderfully vibrant and ooze creativity. The questionable area specifically reminds me of trails I've hiked, the small roadside shops and diners I've seen. The game itself radiates a positivity and gets surprisingly real when it needs to.
I thought I could fix it.
You thought you could manipulate another person's mind to bend their will to your own. There are few things worse, Rasputin.
Rasputin is such a likable protagonist, played perfectly by Richard Stephen Horvitz. You may recognize his voice from classic cartoons such as Billy and Mandy or Invaders.
Sim! What?
Its cast of characters are all wonderfully explored with rich backstories. The way it presents the idea of helping characters with their mental health issues is very mature and affectionate.
We're here to help people fight their own demons. The ones they already have.
Sure, the game is a fun platformer where you psyblast enemies and use pyrokinesis, but there's a lot of introspection there if you look. Speaking of mental health, Portland, Oregon and cities like it tend to rank pretty high on the introvert scale. I definitely struggled during the winter when I lived there. The constant rain for months on end can be brutal since it lasts so long. And it's not just the Pacific Northwest, obviously. There's a lot of places in the world that have tough weather like that. So if you are feeling isolated and have depressive thoughts, I highly recommend seeking talk therapy or psychiatric aid. Try checking out Psychology Today so you can find someone who best fits your needs. Have a professional astral project themselves through the door into your mind. Let them help you. Making those first steps can be hard, but please try and take care of yourself.
The woods there can be a bit of a maze. If you get lost, follow the pipes. The limb tech in those stabilizers ran so damn hot, only more limb tech could contain it from complete meltdown.
Pacific Drive was one of the first games I picked to talk about when I started conceptualizing this video. A roguelike where you drive around Washington, run into spooky anomalies while making sure your station wagon doesn't get absolutely busted. Sign me up.
Oh, you, pretty chitty bang bang, chitty chitty bang bang, we love you. And our pretty chitty bang bang, chitty chitty bang bang loves us too. Hang on, everybody go on, chitty chitty weedy pan. Bang bang, chitty chitty bang bang, our pants are tethered pan. Bang bang, chitty chitty bang bang, our fine for standard. Chitty bang bang, chitty chitty bang bang, chitty bang bang, yeah!
I've been a big fan of the roguelike genre since I played the original Binding of Isaac back in the day. I'll probably end up making a video about the genre later on. I currently have a pretty bad Balatro addiction. Hey, I could stop whenever I want, alright? In this game, your car is your world. You need it, and you need it to run as well as possible. Pretty much every resource you find throughout your playtime goes into upgrades and better materials to replace your shitty parts with. When the game first begins, your car runs like a dream. It handles well, doors don't randomly freaking open when putting the car in park, driving you crazy, and then kablamzo, it takes it away from you. So you end up finding this shitty, rundown, unpimped ride and slowly start building it back up. I feel this game does such a great job of balancing when moments should be relaxed and when you should start gripping the steering wheel just a little tighter. You have a beautiful drive early on in a run, the sun is out, you jam out to tunes on the radio, you collect some scrap here and there, learn some lore, and then you enter the next zone. What's that horrible floating thing over there? The anomalies that you run across, be them sentient or otherwise, have the express purpose of making sure your insurance never covers your ass again. When you get back to the shop and your car's all busted from one of your trips, you feel like the Rancor caretaker from Return of the Jedi. You just want to cry. I spent hours just repairing my car, making sure that it was as good enough shape it could be in before making another run. Making it back after a harsh trip and being able to make substantial upgrades is easily the most satisfying part of the game. Of course, I'm recommending this as a cozy fall game because nothing beats a nice autumn drive, even if things are trying to kill you every once in a while. The game actually had a fall update not too long ago, and an option to turn off every hazard in the game, so you can experience the pretty sights without worrying about acid rain or electrical storms. So what are your favorite games to play during the fall season? Let me know in the comments below. It's been nice to get such great feedback from my first video. The reception was extremely positive, comments were all very warm, and I appreciate you giving my stuff the time of day. I have a sci-fi horror video and a Lord of the Rings video I'd like to do sometime in the near future. Maybe some quickies here and there. But yeah, enjoy the falling leaves and a warm beverage of your choice. Hope you had a good Thanksgiving, and see you in the next video.